Hi everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. How is everyone doing today? I hope you guys are well. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. Thank you so much for joining tonight. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So, guys, we have quite a bit to talk about today. We have a lot of Real Housewives of Potomac tea that we will be talking about today. We're also going to talk a little bit about Love and Marriage Huntsville, episode, a little bit about that. We're also going to talk about the fact that it looks like there may be trouble in paradise, allegedly, when it comes to Arionne and Martell Holt. So we have quite a lot to talk about today, but I ask just one favor, please hit that like button. Please and thank you. Okay, so for what I'm having tonight, let me get my drink. Where is my drink? Okay, so I'm having tonight a pina colada mocktail. This will be the first time I'm actually trying this particular brand. So I'm not going to share it unless I think it's good. So I'm just gonna not share it for now. But that's what I'm going to be having tonight. Let me know what you guys are having tonight in the chat. And yeah, let's enjoy the pina colada and let's chat it up today. Okay, so let's start with the Love and Marriage Huntsville of it all. Because I know sometimes, let's just get these people out of the way. Let's get the conversation going and then we'll talk about the other people. So the first thing we noticed is Ariane seems to not have anything to do with Martell on her page. It seems like everything has been completely cleansed of any sign of Mr. Martell Holt. It looks like she has zero posts, so everything has been cleared out. Let me see if I can pull up her page. Give me a second. Let me pull this up so you guys can see the visuals. So over here, if you see, it literally says zero post. Everything looks completely gone. And so I'm just like, what do you think happened? Because as somebody who likes to be, who be posting every now and then, who likes to be talking about stuff, I'm quite surprised that there's nothing there. It seems like she's completely deleted everything. Maybe she's planning a new reveal. Maybe she's trying to get us talking so that she can then come back with a bang. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that this is her way of getting our attention in some way? Or what do you think this is? Do you think her and Martell are together? Do you think her and Martell have broken up and now that's why she's deleting everything? Or do you think this is just a way to get our attention? Let me know in the chat. I think it's a little bit, I think it's a bit of a mixture. I think that on the one hand, it's probably there's like trouble in paradise. But I think also because there's trouble in paradise, she probably also wants to get us talking. Um, I know that if you guys watched the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, you would see that Martell, when he was talking to Nell and Chris, he mentioned that he's moving her and the children over to his investment property. And he mentioned that he's the one that currently pays her rent. And I wonder if there is some truth to that, or if it's just Martell in Martell's usual fashion. Maybe he is embellishing a little something and she's not happy with that, because it just feels like, what exactly is she responding to if she completely then deletes the whole thing and deletes everything off her socials? Okay, so Bunny says, isn't Erin expecting her second child with the devil? Oh, do you know for certain? Do you know for certain? Where is this tea coming from? Bunny, is this a reliable source or what is this? Now, first of all, I'm going to just put this out there. I have not heard this at all. This is my first time actually hearing this, so I don't know for certain. But I don't know. Is anyone in the chat? Have you guys heard this before? Is this your first time hearing this? Miss Linda is saying it's alleged that Arion is expecting again. Oh my gosh. I honestly wish I had sound effects because what? Girl, how you gonna let them knock you up again without security? What is this? What is this, honey? No, but seriously, oh my gosh. Now, let's just say alleged. Let me put my banner up because everything I say is alleged. And this is my real time reactions because I did not know that this has been alleged that this is happening. When you think you've heard it all with this Love and Married Huntsville crowd, it's like you find out something different. Mm-mm-mm. So, yeah. Wow. Imagine she's actually expecting again. Like, I'm all for, if you guys want to have like kids with your partner and stuff, but I don't think it's smart to have kids with a partner that isn't sure if he wants to be with you. One minute he's talking about marrying you, then he never does anything to marry you. Like, it's not looking good. Like, why would you get knocked up for someone or like that? Like, why? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, of all the people that you could have gotten knocked up for, did he have to be this person who is not sure? One minute he talks about how he wants to be with you and stuff and wants to marry you and wants to be a family man and he wants to settle down. But then in the next breath, he does the exact opposite and doesn't show up the way he's meant to be showing up. Is that the kind of person that you want to be messing with? Mm-mm. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So if she is actually pregnant for him, I would be sorry for her. I'm not going to lie, I would feel so bad for her because it's like that's not the kind of man that you get pregnant for again. This man that is not sure where he stands with you, he's constantly trying to get his ex-girlfriend, ex-wife's attention. Like, that's not the person you deal with, for crying out loud. Oh my god, this is not good. Someone says, I hope she's not. Literally. For her sake. It's not even like I do not have any skin in the game. If she is, that's her business. But at the same time, I'm just thinking about it like if that was my sister, I'm thinking about everything that has happened with them, their relationship, everything that has transpired. Yeah, I would feel a bit weird, honestly. I would absolutely feel a bit weird and I would be like, yeah, nah, I'm not pushing out a baby for somebody like that. No, sir. Not until you put a ring on it or something. Because like imagine, why? This man doesn't even claim you properly. Ugh. Anyway, I guess why should I even bother? It's like if she doesn't mind, then what's my business? Because she knows how to, she's a grown-ass woman. If she doesn't want to have another one, she knows exactly what to do. Bajan B, hey, good evening. How are you? Thanks for joining in tonight. I hope you're doing well. And, are you drinking anything? I'm having my pina colada. What are you drinking? Arion, so Miss Linda is saying Arion did go live on her IG and she hinted around she was craving different foods. Oh my god, that's usually the first sign you be craving all sorts. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, maybe that's her way of indirectly telling the people maybe she is. Or the other part of it is Arion also likes a lot of attention. So I would not be surprised if that's also a way she is doing to try and get us talking, to try to get us in the point where we're having these kind of conversations about whether or not she is pregnant. But if she's pregnant, it's about to be a long road because like I'm not one to be watching Martell's pennies, but it's like on Martell's coins. But does he have enough resources to take care of you and your daughter and who and your, well, I would say your his half daughter or half daughter, I guess. Um and whatever children that you guys decide to put together or produce after the one you already have. So yeah, I don't know, man. I do not know, but financially, let's just hope they can afford the kid if they are really expecting another one. But I don't, to be fair, do you guys remember Martell used to always say he wants 6 kids, if I'm not mistaken? So I guess he's gonna get his 6. If she really is pregnant, then he is aiming to get his 6 kids. Bajan, oh dear, when will the pauper learn? Wear your Wellington boots, sister. This is the question. It's like, wear it. Protect yourself. That man clearly is very fertile, and so are you. Because this ain't the first time you got pregnant for him. So you know his swimmers are swimming. So why are you not protecting yourself unless she really just wanted to get pregnant? Because I'm like, we're too grown, especially you're too grown as someone who has already had children before, to be having an oops baby, in my opinion. Too grown for that. You're not a teenager, you're not a young adult, you are a grown woman at this stage. So yeah, I don't get it. Martell Holt, Andre is saying Martell Holt, why continue to keep hooking up with Arion for this man is not protecting himself, is reckless living. Absolutely. It's obvious he's just out here, just he loves to do a bareback and take chances. Allegedly. If she really is pregnant, because if she really is pregnant, then he's definitely not wrapping it up, in our opinion. Marilyn says she must have felt him slipping away whilst he was in ATL with Ralph. That's what she doesn't get. His life and social life doesn't stop, just hers. I hope she's not dumb enough to get pregnant again. This is the thing. And I love how you explained it. And I wish that she would listen to other women, right? Because it's like, even though she is not a child and she's not that young, I feel like she is stuck in such an immaturity phase. She is stuck almost in that like early teenage or maybe like 18-year-old mindset. Because I'm like, if you get pregnant, ma'am, you're the one that would have to stop your life, stop your social life, stop all of the things that you have going on. It's your life that stops, not him. He is going to be out here living his best life. Out here, probably traveling, hanging with Ralph or whoever else he decides to hang out with. Whilst you're over there at home, wondering where he's at, who he's with, you could have saved yourself all of this stress, all of that drama. You could have saved yourself everything and just stayed in your yard and enjoyed your life. Instead, you're deciding to put yourself in this situation if it really is true. Like, as I said, we don't know for a fact. She hasn't confirmed it. And I hope it's just allegations, it's just word on the streets with no facts, just for her sake. Because I think that despite everything that she has done, I see that little girl who is crying for attention, who's crying for Martell's love and affection. And here and there, I find myself having sympathy for her, where I just feel like, what is it about your childhood that made you feel like this is the best that you can ever get? Why do you settle for crumbs from a man like Martell? Right? These are the things that make me, in certain situations, feel bad for her. Like, don't get me wrong, I put my hand up. She's done some crazy things, and I have dogged her out on this channel for that. And I stand by everything that I said on those things. But I feel like sometimes I have this level of like sympathy for her. Like, wow, why is she so naive? How did she grow up? because I just can't imagine how low your self esteem has to be able to tolerate these sorts of behaviors, right? To be able to tolerate the person that Martell is. And so I just think 9 out of 10, I just think about it and I'm just like, wow, that self esteem must be in the toilet. It must be down, deep down in the valley. That is the only explanation. But yeah, I really will have to wait and see what happens. We'll see if they say something. I think that maybe it's also a way of them bringing her on the show because if she's pregnant, of course, they'll want to show Martell's life because Martell will be talking about her being pregnant. And then very soon they'll probably want to also bring her on the show to experience the pregnancy journey. I will say this because a lot of people have short memory spans and people tend to forget things, especially when a child is involved. If they truly want to play that and bring her on the show as a pregnant woman and stuff, if they have Martell out there looking after her constantly, making the journey smooth, a lot of women will forgive Martell for all of the atrocities that he has committed. A lot of people will start looking at Martell differently and saying, well, yeah, at least he supported her. Because a lot of women understand what it feels like to not have been supported by their man whilst they were pregnant. Okay. So I feel like if they're trying to humanize Martell, that is a very smart way of doing it. Bring the pregnant girlfriend on the show Martell doting after her, rubbing her feet, cooking for her, taking care of her, telling her she looks good. Like, that is a whole, think about it, that is a whole story right there. A whole story. Bajan says storyline. Yeah, that's a freaking dang good storyline if you think about it. And he'll be doting after her. You know how we all talk about how his reputation is in the toilet, his reputation is garbage. Think about if he came through as this doting, kind baby daddy. People will start liking him. People will forgive him and say, yeah, he used to be horrible, but look at how kind he treated her while she was pregnant. So if they're going to use that as a storyline, well, now you know exactly what to do. But knowing Martell, even if he does all of these things, he will still do something to cock it up. He will still do something to cock it up. He cannot help himself. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens, whether we get some tea about whether or not this is actually true. But for now, let's move on to some of the bits that I wanted to talk about happened. Basically, guys, I don't know if you guys have watched the latest episode of Love and Married Townsville. The Love and Married Townsville show is back, right? So there are certain bits that I wanted to talk about. I'm not going to do a recap of the show because I'm like, I don't think you guys want to hear it. And I certainly do not. Yeah, I'm not that interested in it to do a play by play recap of the show. But what I will do is explain some parts of the show that I picked up on and then go into a more in depth analysis of my thoughts about it. So let's talk about Trish. The way, first of all, I will have to give them their props for this. I actually enjoyed seeing Trish interact with her son. I think for a lot of times we've seen the way Trish comes across. Trish comes across very closed off. We never see her in that, a little bit more softer approach. We've never seen a slightly more nurturing side to her. And so I will say that it was very nice to see her interacting with her son. Now, I love that she trains him because I feel like she looks good It's very obvious she takes her training very, very seriously. So who better to train her than the person, right? Who better to train him rather than his mom, right? Who is an amazing trainer. You can see by her physique. She spends a lot of time at the gym. She definitely knows what she is doing. So I think he has a good trainer, right? But I love the fact that she was able to ask him, how are you doing really? And even though initially he kind of said he was all right, she also said, like, how are you doing really? Because she knows sometimes she say she's okay, but she truly is not okay. And I think it's very important to like talk about these things and ask people genuinely, how are you doing? Don't just ask people how they're doing on a very surface level. Make sure they know that no, I actually mean it. I'm trying to find out how you are doing really. And I think because she did that, it gave him the opportunity to open up. Xavier, you could see that he opened up. He talks about how he doesn't like the conflict between her dad or between the dad and Trish. He did not like the conflict. He also doesn't like the conflict between Ken and Trish, right? And so I feel like I love that Trish is having these conversations, but I also think it's very concerning that the child is being exposed to that level of conflict. It's like the conflict between his dad and you. He already grew up seeing that ish. To then now move on from that, to then have conflicts with another man, I don't think that's very good for your child to be seeing in the first place. But I love that she owned it, and I love that she talked to her son about it and was curious to hear how the son feels. Now, I would also be curious to see how the daughter feels, because I feel like it may have a huge impact on the daughter, her self esteem, how she moves in the future in relationships. So I would have preferred also if she had had a conversation with the daughter. Now, I don't know if she can't have the daughter on camera because the daughter is a minor and maybe Marquez didn't sign off for it or the court didn't sign off on that. I don't know what the story is there, but I think it would have been good if we could have seen her opinion and her perspective as well. Now, hello everyone, because I can see a lot of people have just joined in. Please hit that like button as you come in. It's a free way to support the channel and to support other content creators. So please hit that like button. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Now, I want to talk a little bit about my perspective on Trish and Ken. And I want to see if I can find a comment that somebody made on my channel recently. And I feel like that comment was such a very, very good analysis of Trish and Ken. I don't know if I'll try and see if I can find it quickly. If not, then if I can't find it quickly, then I would just move on. But the person did a really, really good analysis, and I was so impressed. You know, when you're like so impressed, I was so impressed. And even I responded and I was like, ugh. Oh, I found it. Okay. So shout out to Straight Talk, because that is the person that left the comment. I wish I could put it on my screen, but I don't know how to put it on my screen right now. So I'm going to have to read it for y'all, right? So she says, Ken's behavior is abusive and manipulative. Men that always threaten to leave the relationship at every disagreement are not safe to be with. That's why Trish always seems detached and cold, plus the trauma she's already dealing with and trying to heal from. He comes across as very chaotic, controlling, and manipulative. That behavior is making it a lot difficult for her to heal. They just need to go their separate ways. They are not good for each other. When I tell y'all that this person ate it down to the T, ate it down to the T. And this is one of the things that I've been trying to say for a long time, where I say that a lot of people think that Ken is a good guy. And yes, he may be a good guy to an extent, but there are a lot of things that he does in the relationship that would make it hard for somebody like Trish to settle and relax. If every time you have a disagreement with someone, a little disagreement, they're so quick to tell you they're going to leave, they're going to leave, they're about to leave, you are going to get detached because they keep threatening to leave. And one day you're going to feel like maybe they are just going to leave me. And so guess what you do? You protect yourself. Think about the trauma that Trish has encountered. Trish has encountered traumas where her family members passed away. It's like she already feels like people leave anyway. Let me not get attached because they may die. They may leave. They may not be around anymore. So when Ken does that to her and leaves at every single opportunity sign of disagreement, guess what he's doing? He's chipping at that wound again and again and again. He's just chipping at the wound that is already there. It's like, imagine I say to you, like, oh, I have a fear of divorce. And then you come to me every single time and you're like, I'm going to divorce you. I'm going to divorce you. I'm going to divorce you. What do you think you're doing? You're chipping away at me about the fear that I have. So now, guess what? I can't be safe around you because I feel like you're going to pull the rug from underneath me. And so that's why I think, even though people like to say, like, yes, Trisha's a problem, and we'll talk about Trisha's problem in a second, but I want to talk about Ken's problem because everybody seems to be talking about Trisha's problem, but ain't nobody talking about what Ken needs to do. And it's funny because I see a lot of women talk about how Ken is such a good guy and they want to take Ken and they want to date Ken, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I hear you. It looks like that on the face of it. But if you take a step back and analyze things a little bit more, it's not as easy as it seems, in my opinion. It's not as easy as it seems. It's not as clear cut as it seems. When you're in a relationship, you want to feel safe. You want to feel like this is my person. This person is riding with me. This person is not going to just up and leave whenever they feel like it. But with someone like Ken, who is constantly threatening to leave, if you don't do this, I'm going to leave. If you don't do that, I'm going to leave. Then leave. Haven't you heard of stories of people who threaten divorce so much that it has no effect on their partners? Their partners are just like, whatever, if you want to divorce, go. I don't care anymore. Because every time you say that, every time you threaten them, it's like you're doing something that gets them closer and closer and closer to feeling like they are not safe with you. To feel like, yeah, I don't have to deal with this, right? And so I feel like that is where we are getting to with Ken. He's not a safe space for her. She's already showing tendencies of being an avoidant, someone who avoids because she doesn't want to deal with things head on. She feels like she's scared she's going to lose people, maybe an avoidant or fearful avoidant. So we're already seeing signs of her having such an avoidant personality. So to then have somebody constantly threatening to leave you is very tiresome. And so I know a lot of people are so focused on Trish and what Trish ain't doing right. But I also think people need to also think about what is it about Ken and how does Ken contribute, in my opinion, to the dysfunction and to the issues she already has going on. Hey, Priscilla. Everyone say hi to Priscilla. Priscilla is one of our members. Hi, girl. How are you doing? I hope you're good. Thanks for joining in tonight. Always India said that hoe in leaving him. Oh, yeah, I think she's talking about Martell. She's probably just catching up on the replay. Okay. So I think, so it's very much, or are you talking about Ken not leaving? It could also be about Ken not leaving. But I don't think Ken is going to leave, and I don't think he has plans of leaving. But he knows the only way to hurt her is by giving the impression of saying that he's going to leave. And so he does that. This is my personal opinion. It's like when someone knows that you don't like something, and that is the one thing they can do to get to you because you're very much detached, then every time they do exactly that because they know that's the one way that they can get to you. That's the one way that where they can get you upset, get some sort of reaction from you. And so I think that that's very much what Ken is doing. Now, Trish is definitely very detached and cold. And I think it's because of a lot of the trauma that she has been through. She has been through a lot. Imagine, you know, death, consistently dealing with different people's deaths. It's really been a whole experience, right? And so I feel like she's definitely been through it. Agreed. And I do agree that she does need counseling. She definitely needs counseling. She needs individual counseling, and she needs to be on that journey to deal with that grief that she has experienced. But I think beyond that, I think they also need relationship counseling if she wants to stay with. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button, and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.